It's very expensive getting married. I'm trying to pay now for that, and I don't have a job. So what I've been looking for is a job where I can make a lot of money right now. And the more I look for this job, the more I discover that this job is called crime. That's crime. That's the whole idea of crime, is make all your money right immediately. Yeah. And the more I'm looking for like crime jobs, the more I discover that I don't really mind being a criminal. I think we're all kind of criminals already, you know? Like, we've all done things where we're like, I don't know about that. Like, I don't know if you've all been charged with a DUI, but we've definitely all got one in our heart. I don't have a formal DUI, but I've woken up in my bed many, many times just like, no! Everything's just okay? All right. There's a multiple infinite universe. This is the only one where it just worked out. Great. Yeah. The wedding was expensive. Weddings are expensive, but this one was particularly expensive because we had a 120-person cap on the venue, and then my mother kept trying to add people on top of that, which if you guys have been married or are looking to get married, that's bad when moms do that, because every person over that cap, you get fined by the venue, you get fined by the caterer, flower arrangements table. It's like a whole thing. And me and my wife, we worked it out. Every person over that cap for us came out to $700 a person. What? Yeah, it's a lot of money. So every time my mom gave me a person's name, I had to look at this person's name and be like, all right, is this person worth $700? Right? And if you think about every single person in your life, right, the answer to that question is always no. No one in your life is worth $700. Right? I paid $200 to see Jay-Z. You know? I'm gonna pay triple that to see Grandma. Yeah. She's got no hits. Grandma has no hits. $700. You have to be a vacation in a person. You know, like I have to feel like I went somewhere when I hung out with you. You know, I don't know who that person is, but I know it is not my mom's friend Lynn, right? Like the wedding is the last time I'm gonna see Lynn in my life. You know. Like, you know how friends, they have like friends who die and they're like, oh no, I never got to say goodbye. Like, I just said goodbye to Lynn at the wedding. You know? I was just like, oh, hey, thanks for coming out. And bye. This is probably it. I got to say goodbye to Lynn. Good. I said goodbye. You know? My mom wanted Lynn there. She wanted Lynn's husband. She wanted Lynn's 2 kids, Prescott and Mackenzie, who I went to high school with. That's $2,700 for 2 generations of people I could give a fuck about. And Mackenzie's a special case, because like he was my best friend from 5th grade to 7th grade, right? And these were the worst years of my life. Not because of him, but like I was a fat kid. I was socially awkward. I had braces. I had not like a full lazy eye, but like it wasn't like working to its potential, you know? It saw what it wanted to see. It was like a dog falling asleep. You have to, hey, come on! You gotta look at that. Yeah. So like, I didn't have a lot of friends. And then Mackenzie moved into town from Florida in 5th grade, and Mackenzie didn't have a lot of friends because he moved into town with a rat tail, which, that's a haircut inspired by rats. Say, look, modeled after the rat. An animal known for sickness, disease, the plague. Yeah. The rat tail is the worst haircut, right? Because it makes other unreasonable haircuts seem okay. You know what I mean? Like you see a mullet and you're like, this is bad. But then the rat tail shows up and you're like, oh, well, at least there was a plan. Business in front, party in the back. That's a plan. The plan over here is, all right, my face will be the body of the rat. And my hair will be the tail. That's the plan. Yeah. So Mackenzie didn't have a lot of friends because he had a rat tail, and then I didn't have a lot of friends because I was just like a shitty kid. My rat tail was like my everything. Just I was a shitty rat tail kid, you know. So we became friends by virtue of that, and then you know we hung out for 2 years. It was great. He lived down the street from me, and we played. And then in 7th grade, Mackenzie decided that he wanted to cut the rat tail off. So he went home and he talked to his mom. His mom cut his hair, obviously. No barber's gonna just give your kid a rat tail. You're gonna be like, no, he's getting a crew cut and you're going to jail. I'm not just gonna ruin a kid for no reason, because you want to, you know? So Mackenzie went home to his mom and he's like, hey mom, we don't live in Florida anymore. I don't need the state haircut. We're not trying to lure gators into the yard for the stew, so you may remove the rat tail. Yeah. So Mackenzie's mom, she cut off his rat tail, she put it in a plastic bag, she still has it. Yeah, she'll show it to you, baby. Yeah. I hear a lot of O's. Yeah, I owed too when I heard that. But then I discovered that my mom also has a lock of my hair and all of my baby teeth in a box in the basement. So, like, she says this for the memories, but dude, how creepy is it to sneak down to the basement and sift through children's teeth and remember? Try to imagine my mom doing that without fucked up clown makeup on her face. You can't! I don't know, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but teeth belong in the face or the trash. That's a policy I run on. Yeah. Teeth of the trash. So, Mackenzie cut off the rat tail, and then he went to school, and then suddenly all the girls were like, oh my god, Mackenzie's hot, you know? And all the boys were like, oh, he's cool, you know? He pulled a She's All That with a rat tail. Where everyone at school saw Mackenzie for what he like truly was. Like this hot boy, you know? This hot 7th grade boy. And I thought, by virtue of being friends with him, I would become popular too. And then this thought all came to a head, Halloween 1999. And this is a weird year, because I was like 12 years old, 7th grade, so it was like, 12 years old is like a weird age for Halloween, because like some kids are starting to get into sex, you know? And then other kids are just like still real into candy. And that was me. So I grabbed my pillowcase and my shitty fat body, and I waddled down to Mackenzie's house to trick or treat with my best friend, right? And as I get close to the house, I notice that there's all these kids running around the front and backyard. And they're kids from my class, and I realize that Mackenzie is having a party. And I'm very excited because I'd never been to a party, but I knew what happened. Truth or dare, people dare people to kiss they don't want to kiss. And I could be a shitty nightmare for some sweet person in my class. So I walk up to Mackenzie's door, and I knock on it, and Mackenzie answers. And he's like, hey, and I'm like, hey man, you're having a party. And Mackenzie was like, oh yeah, sorry, it's invite only, right? And that didn't even register with me. I was like, okay, cool. Well, if I see one of the people who are not invited, then I'll tell them they should go. You know? And Mackenzie was like, he had to verify. He's like, no, you are not invited, right? And that is the Halloween I trick-or-treated alone. I grabbed... My middle school bully is here. Many were sad, one was elated. It's sad, man. I trick-or-treated a lot. I grabbed my sack and my shitty eye, and I walked around to all my neighbors' houses, and I would go up and I'd ring the doorbell, like tears just streaming down my face. And my neighbors would answer, and I'd be like, trick or treat. And then my neighbor would be like, are you okay? This is way scarier than the other kids' outfits. And then when my pillowcase was full of candy, I took my sack to the woods behind my house, and I ate the whole thing, feeling a sadness deeper than any sadness I've ever felt before, or probably since. And then I threw up in the backyard, because it was way too much candy. So, anyway, that guy was at the wedding. $700 to see that guy. But when my mom brought him up, it was just like, it felt weird to be like, no, I don't want him at the wedding because he didn't let me come to the Halloween party. Mother! Yeah. She's a tough woman to say no to. She's an intimidating, she's a tiny woman. She's compact. She's 80 pounds of sharp bone. She's like, it's like hugging the inside of a piano. You know, she's like made of goat horn. This, my mom. Yeah. She's always like, every time she visits, she's always like trying to get me to work out with her. And I'm always like, no, I don't want to, because I don't have to, you know? And then my mom will do this thing. She'll touch my stomach, and she'll grab it, and she'll be like, oh, but what's this? What is this? And I'll be like, oh, get the fuck away from me. What is this? Nobody likes when you this. No, never grab it. Like, it affects me because I told you, like, I'm a skinny guy now, but I was a fat kid, and that sticks with you, man. It's like jail, you know? Like, in your head, you're like, I'm never going back. But in your heart, you're like, the system's broken. I'm totally going back. Ice cream is so easy to get, I will be fat. I will be fat again. So this summer, me and my wife went to go visit my family, and my mom and I were taking a walk, and we were having like a pleasant conversation, and then out of nowhere, she's like, you know, Dave, I think I know what your problem is. I was like, oh, good. I thought today would just be fun, but now I get to know what my problems are. This will be way better. What is my problem? And my mom's like, well, David, I've been watching you over the course of this week, and I noticed that you've been drinking a little bit too much juice, all right? Juice is high in sugar, high in calories, and oh, well, we know where that goes, don't we? What is this? What is it? What is that? You know? I was like, all right, Mom, you got it. I've been drinking a little bit of juice, all right? But hey, juice is expensive. I don't have a lot of juice in my house. You got a lot of juice in your house. This is vacation, baby. I'm gonna drink some juice, all right? Then my mom went on this big rant. She's like, oh, well, fine. Don't listen to your mom. The reason you exist, the woman who gave you life, huh? And I don't think just because you had a kid makes you qualified to give that kid advice. You know what I mean? Like you're just a kid yourself. You just like, you know, like you're just like a stale kid. You know, just your kid's been out for too long. You just apparently left their kid out for 40 years. Then now they're dead. You know, like you have to prove to me that you know more. Like this woman's trying to give me advice. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna listen to you. You're attracted to Dad. You know, you can't work your iTunes. You think Dad is hot? Get the hell out of here. Don't talk to me when you got a hotter dad, Mom. I gave her this whole, like, you know, get a hotter dad speech, and I thought that would be the end of it, you know, this whole, like, juice conversation. But over the course of the week, like, every time I went to pour myself a cup of juice, this fucking woman, right? She wasn't in the room, she became in the room, you know what I mean? So she heard the juice hit the glass, and she just would show up, just disappointed. Oh, David! Is that juice? Huh? Again? You know? Just take a little piece of me, you know, just take a little piece of me away this whole trip, you know? Until finally the second last day of this trip, I've had it up to here with this juice business, right? And I walked through the living room, my parents are playing cards with my wife, and my mom was drinking a cranberry vodka, which is half juice, half vodka, right? Some people actually have a problem with it, you know? I don't really want to get drunk that night, so I go into the kitchen and I pour myself just a good old classic cup of juice, you know, like an idiot, you know? And I came out with my cup of juice, and surprise turn events, my dad, he turns around in his chair, he sees the juice, and he's like, oh, David, what is that, juice? Huh? You know, I know for a fact my dad does not give a shit if I drink juice, right? He's a proud, simple man. He likes three things. He likes hockey, he likes Busch Light, he still gets excited about the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition even though we have porn now. He's a simple man, you know? My dad does not give a shit if I drink juice. This is my mom using my dad's body as a vessel like a demon. I can see her sitting over his shoulder, eyes empty and black, spidery fingers playing Puppet Master with his heart. Oh, David, is that juice? Oh, David, is that juice? One cup's fine, but 2 or 3 cups. That's how I'm sure how we know where that goes doing. 1 cup's fine, but please, kill me. Don't drink juice. Sometimes seeing this proud man turn into like a conduit for my mom's like shitty juice propaganda, like makes me snap. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? It is juice, and I'm a grown man. I can have as much juice as I want. And then I went into the kitchen and I grabbed myself a gallon of juice. I came out and I chugged the whole thing in front of my family, in front of my mom, my dad, my wife, who's never seen me behave like this before. I chugged the whole thing, and then I threw it on the ground. And then I got very, very sick. It was too much juice. Is that just the whitest story you've ever heard in your life? It's like a real problem for me, man. Nobody cares. Oh, you didn't get as much juice you want. I'll give him there. Nice. Yeah. That's what happens, man. My mom's retired. Don't do that. Just don't retire. Just keep doing whatever you're doing until you're done. Because when you retire, you just got nothing going on, so you have to make whatever up. My mom's sitting in a beautiful house by the beach, and she's just like, oh, David's drinking too much juice. I gotta warn David. Every time I come visit her, the couch is like a few feet in a different direction. Her hair's a little crazier. She's like, what do you think? What do you think of the couch, huh? What do I think? I think you need a dog or a paintbrush, a hobby. Something, man. That's why the wedding was so good. It was such a, it was a distraction, man. It was like, the wedding was so fun. We had such a great time. Everyone had a good time. And then after the wedding, I went on a honeymoon. I went to Spain. I'd never been to Europe. That was amazing, you know? And then I came back from Spain and it was all over. And I was left with a wife. That's my prize for, I have a wife, you know what I mean? Like, fiance just sounds better. Like, fiance sounds like you're dating champagne, you know? A wife? Like, my dad has a wife, you know? A wife is my mom. You know, the thing I've been trying to escape all these years, somehow I've dated my way back to my mom, you know? That's what my wife is. This is the mom 2.0, you know? You can fuck this one. That's the upgrade, baby! Yeah. Was once a punishment is now fun. Like broccoli. You guys tensen up a little bit. Don't worry. Don't worry, I do not fuck my wife. I'm kidding. I have never fucked my wife, I promise. Come back to me, babies. Never done that. But other than that, like, pretty standard mom stuff. You know, like, I've got chores again. I'm afraid all the time. It's like, if I'm ever in my house just watching TV, and then I hear the heavy clip-clopping of my wife's, like, heavy boots coming down the hall, I get this, like, sinking feeling in my heart, you know, like that, oh no, you know? It's the feeling I used to get when I was a kid and I was playing video games upstairs and then I heard my mom come in through the garage door. You know that feeling? Just like, I'm not doing anything wrong, but probably better if I was doing something else. That's what I get every time I'm like watching TV and I hear my wife come in the door. I just start folding. I don't like... Can you fold a cat? I don't know. Can you get a paw into a mouth? It'd be fine if I was just sitting there. It's just like, you know, it's I got this new wife mom. You know, I gotta appease. You know. Other than that, marriage is pretty great. I love my wife. It's like cliche to say, I know, but like I feel like blessed. Like I get to marry my like 7th or 8th best friend. It's like what a dream. I get to marry my like work buddy. It's it's good. Yeah. She jumped the gun a little bit on Facebook. You know, when we got engaged, she's like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to marry my best friend." I was like, "What? Best friend? Huh? What about Mike? Mike's my best friend. I hope Mike doesn't see this." Weird with me and Mike. Nobody marries their best friend, right? Like, you don't get text from your best friend in the middle of the night just like, "Hey, what are you doing?" You should come home. It's time to come home. You need to come home. Doesn't sound like my best friend. Sounds like a cop. Dating a cop lady. Now your best friend would be like, come home, or don't. I don't give a shit. I have a life. Do whatever you want. Best friend? No, we got nothing in common. Can't be my best friend, you know? Like I like a lot of stuff she doesn't like. Like, I like big, dumb action flicks, you know, but I have to watch them in secret, because if she catches me watching them, she'll make fun of me. Like, I was watching the Star Wars, like the most recent Star Wars that came out, and my wife, she caught me, and she's like, oh, you watching Star Wars? Oh, want to be a little space knight, huh? Want to fire up your stupid little red laser boners? Stop the evil helmet man? Oh, yarn. Get out! Yeah. Why are you ruining my good time, you know? It bothers me because her favorite movie is Stepmom, right? I don't know if you heard some O's. That's correct. If you haven't seen Stepmom, that's a movie about a divorced mom who loses to cancer after her husband leaves her for a younger, hotter woman. Yeah, you feel the fun just suck out of the room? That's her favorite thing? Saving the universe. That's stupid. It's way more fun to watch an emotionally flawed single mother run out of options and then die. Great. I might be a nerd, at least I'm not a sociopath. I still like entertainment that makes me feel weird eating snacks. You know, like, I watch this woman's life fall apart. I'm like, hey, honey, can we watch something that doesn't turn the popcorn to ash in my mouth? She's dying in front of her kids. This is ruining Skittles. I don't know why sad movies exist, alright? Like, sad fiction especially. Like, alright, life is sad, I get it. Life sucks. Make a documentary, alright? It can be called Life Sucks, the documentary, right? But fiction shouldn't be allowed to be sad. You know, like Stepmom, someone just made that shit up, right? So, I don't know, how about you make up an ending where she beats cancer, huh? Or better yet, don't even give her cancer. Give her a functional marriage, you twisted fuck. Why is everything gotta be so bad all the time? Huh? It's not why I go to the movies, you know? I go to escape the sad, you know? I need a movie where a mom, like, lives forever. At like a comfortable distance, like an invincible mom that lives like a 9-hour drive. She can't get you. Same reason I can't watch porn with bald guys in it, you know? So I'm trying to have a fantasy here, not face my worst fear. When I dream about winning the lottery, I don't just give myself a lazy eye, I win it. Sorry if some of you guys are bald. My worst fear is not your life. If you're here in Balding and you were in a porn, I'd watch. I'd watch it to the end, and I'd enjoy it. every step of the way. My whole family's balding. My grandfather, he's like one wind out of the, gust of wind out of the hair game for good. Like, my little brother's balding, that trips me up. Just like, we used to play video games together. Now you're like a bald guy. My little brother's working on his like bald look. You know, you gotta have a look. You know, he's growing out a beard and glasses. You gotta like, it's like Mr. Potato Head. You know, you can't just have the potato. You gotta spice it up. Throw on a hat, pipe, angry eyes, glasses, beard. When I go bald, I'm going hat. That's my look. I'm gonna have all sorts of hats. You know, I used to wear hats. Are kind of trouble because like a lot of them are sports, and I don't watch sports. So it's like, I don't know. It's tough because I had this like awesome Red Sox hat. It looked awesome with my face. Like, it made my eyes pop, and the curve was right, and it was like faded good, and made my face hot too. It was like a great hat, but I had to stop wearing it because people kept asking me about the fucking team. Like, they'd see the Red Sox hat and they'd be like, ah, Red Sox fan, here in enemy territory. What do you think? They got a killer roster this year, killer bullpen. Do you think they have a chance at the pennant? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. I just like hats. This was a fashion thing. Blue makes my eyes pop. Little socks remind me of Christmas. That's my little sexy Christmas hat. Do you want to talk about that, sports fan? Sexy Christmas? You don't? My heart goes out to them because like they saw the hat, they're like, oh, this would be a cool guy to talk to, and then they walked right into a nightmare, right? It's like if I was at like a party and I saw a guy walk in with a guitar, and I was like, oh, cool guitar, what kind of music do you play? And he's like, oh, music? Oh no, I kill cats with this. What you call it, a guitar? No, I bludgeon cats to death with it, and I stuff them in the hole. It's filled with cats right now, you want to see? Oh, I don't want to see. I had people like, I would wear it on the train in New York, the Red Sox hat, and I was sitting on the train, and then like, 3 like teenagers stood up, and as they were getting off the train, one turned around, he flicked me off, and he's like, hey, Red Sox suck! And then I stood up and I was like, hey, I don't even give a shit. Red Sox, they don't even mean it. This is like a shirt to me. But he was like gone, so I was just like screaming. I had to like sit down with the people and they're like, yeah, I think hats are shirts. Yeah, that's what I said. Hats are shirts to me. I gotta stop wearing hats. Yeah, that was the conclusion. Yeah, man, people that scream at you I moved to New York 2 years ago. People are just like, it's just abrasive. People are always screaming at you about everything. It's like, it like sucks the life out of you. Like, you stop caring about things you should care about. You know what I mean? Like this guy like grabbed my dick in the park. And my reaction was I grabbed his arm and I was like, dude, come on. And that's it. That's all I did. I got molested in the park and I reacted like the dude just ate my last bagel bite. I'm like, oh no, come on, man. Oh, that's my dick. No, you touched it. It's yours now. I'll have to get my mom to give me another. I told my buddy about that. I was like, yeah, I got to grab my dick in the park. He's like, oh yeah, the park? That'll happen. That'll happen. So yeah, everybody knows that. I don't think so. I don't think the park district knows about that. I don't think they were like, yeah, we'll make a place where guys grab dicks. We'll call it the park, so everyone knows what's up. That's not what parks are for. Parks are for drugs. Come on, remember? Parks were just for drugs, you know? Yeah. Yeah. One park drug girl. Yeah. Is this a drug-friendly crowd? Man. All right. The crowd is not supportive of the few people who were able to open their heart and reveal that they do drugs. Like 6 people revealed that they like drugs, and then everyone else was like, no. We don't approve. What are you talking about? You have to do drugs. Do drugs! What are you talking about? It's crazy. You have to. What are you just satisfied? What do you do? You just go to work and feel it? Do drugs. Like, what do? You scroll through your Twitter and you're like, oh yeah, that's all fine. Everything's great. Sign me up for no drugs. Do drugs. I do drugs. I'm like an alone drug guy. Like I like smoking pot, but it's like a me and my cat thing. You know what I mean? Like smoke pot and rub the fear into the cat, and the cat takes the fear under the bed. That's whatever cats do with fear. The fear is gone. But I don't like smoking with other people because I find that like I regress to myself and get quiet and weird. But I do have friends who will smoke pot at parties. Like, it's no big deal. Just, oh yeah, party's fun. This is great. I'm just gonna smoke pot. Then they do it, and then they always offer it to me and always take it because I'm an idiot, you know? I'm just like, yeah, party's fun, but I guess it'd be more fun if I just removed half my vocabulary. Here we go. Be like, hey, Dave. Good. And? Oh no, I smoked my verbs. I need verbs. Can't be the party without verbs. Oh no. My friends know that it does that to me, but they're still trying to get me, come on, Dave, smoke it. And then I smoke it, and then I'm quiet in the corner of the party, and all my friends are like, oh, Dave, why so shitty and quiet and weird, Dave, huh? Look at Dave, he's shitty and quiet and weird. It's like, dude, you knew this was gonna happen, you know? I wasn't like saying no because I was holding back some fun, high guy. You know? I was like, no, I can't smoke that because I don't think the party can handle it. You know what happens when I smoke? We end up backstage, Jay-Z concert, get called on, I'm gonna stay and go, we all get laid. I don't think you guys are ready for a night like that. You know? I say Jay-Z, and then I'm gonna walk out of here without saying goodbye. That's what's gonna happen, you know? But like all my friends, they know it's gonna do it to me, and they still try to give me, come on, Dave, smoke it. You know? Nobody cares about you less than a good friend. You know? Like, you're trying to get your life together, you're trying to eat right, you're trying to exercise more, drink less. Nobody in the world cares. The only people standing in your way are your friends, right? These are the only people who are like, you're not drinking? Drink, though. What is that, an apple? No, tater tots on the table. Oh, you have a job interview tomorrow? Cocaine. Do the cocaine. I don't care about your job interview. I just want a friend on cocaine. Now you've got a job interview and you're on cocaine. You're talking to everybody about everything, because that's what cocaine does. Yeah. Cocaine had a tagline, it'd be, wow, I didn't know I had an opinion on that. Am I really talking to this dreadlock stranger in the corner of a dark bar about renewable energy? Where are my friends? They're gone. They don't care. They don't care about you. Yeah. No, cocaine's a horrible drug. Don't do it for fun. But it's great for small talk. Do it for small talk. I'll never do cocaine again. But if I'm stuck in an elevator with you, maybe. How's the weather? Okay. I'm gonna do a little cocaine. And I'll tell you how the weather is. Yeah. My friends are starting to have like kids. It's kind of crazy. I went to my first toddler's birthday party. It was something else. The toddler had nothing to do with it. It was a parent party, and the toddler didn't even know a party was going on. The toddler didn't know it was a toddler. It was basically a parent party in the middle of a nightmare. Parents just invited all these toddlers to their fun party. I don't know if I've ever tried to party with toddlers, but all of them are trying to die. Every toddler, all they can think of is die. How do I die? Die. How do I die? They're all choking on Legos, putting forks in sockets, putting plastic bags over their heads, trying to walk down stairs with their stupid fat legs. They clearly aren't meant for doing that. And now all these drunk parents are trying to stop their toddler from dying. You know, it's like, and in the middle of all that, they're like, so when are you gonna have kids? I'm like, I don't know, the party's not selling it. You don't want them here, they don't want to be alive. Who is winning? People say it's like having kids is like the most rewarding thing you can do with your life, you know, like, but I don't know about that. Like my mom, she had 2 kids, right? She spent the majority of her life, the best years of her life, raising them, all of her money, you know, and her reward for all of that is she now has 2 grown men on her phone plan. What a reward. You'd be pissed if that was your prize at like Wheel of Fortune. Hey, you won! 2 grown men leeching from your life. Off your phone plan. They won't use it to call you. Enjoy. Kids are telling me that like you always have to watch when people are always taking them from you. You know what I mean? Like my bully liked that one too. Yep, that's true. People are always taking them. Yeah. I got I got an Amber Alert on my phone today. I hate that shit, man. It's just like, man, stop forcing shit on my life, iPhone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm drunk before noon. I'm at brunch. I'm not gonna stop the pervert. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only crime the cops will just text you. Is that you do it? You know that's a real crime, right? Like, someone came in and they're like, a man took my kid, and then a cop was like, all right, mass text, send it out. Somebody's on it, not me. I'm a cop. I gotta go do, gotta get lunch. I'm a cop. That's the only crime they'll text you, you know? It's like, if you're gonna text us crime, send us something fun, you know? Send us like a murder. Fun murder? We all like that. Everybody likes a good murder, you know? We have murder mystery dinner cruises. That's a date. You know, you go get laid after that. There's no mystery child abduction dinner cruise. Just like tonight, someone in this room is a pedophile with a car. It could be you, could be you, could be you. Come on, let's solve the clues before he fucks the kids. Let's go, come on. Yeah, all right, more cruise. God damn. It's way better than the murder cruise. I know a good cruise when I see one. I went to school in Miami. Yeah, baby. Are you from Miami? Yeah. You from Miami? Oh, no. See, this is the problem when you're from the U. Yeah. There are two Miamis. One of them is not really a Miami. Because it's in Ohio. That's how you know it's not Miami. That's like there's a Paris, Iowa. And you're like, well, is there though? Not really. Yeah. You went to the U. Yeah, okay, sick. Alumni. Just the lamest handshake. Yeah, we know. Yeah, you guys didn't learn the secret shake? Yeah, all right. Hey, you've been to the YouTube? All right. Great. So happy to meet so many people from the U. Yeah. It's, maybe you guys can back me up on this. It's not a school. No. UMiami is not a school. And Miami is not a place. Like, it's it's more of a place than Miami in Ohio, but it is less than a actual place. Like, Miami is like the South Beach, like the big beach that's like famous there. What it really is it's a swamp that they laid a slab of concrete on top, and then they flew sand in, and they're like, okay, it's a great beach, you know? But I think we all secretly know it's not. It's still a swamp, you know what I mean? And Miami was the same way. Like, I don't know if you guys can attest to this, but it looks like a school, and it feels like a school. But then you go to class and you realize, oh, it's a football team. I go to school with a football team. I'm a football student. The story I'm about to tell I'm not gonna say did bad at the last show, but like, I feel like it could do better now. So what I'm gonna ask of you as I say it is just be better than them. And even if in your heart you're like, I hate what he's saying, laugh where the sound's right to do. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. I'm believing in you. A room full of people I've never met. I put my trust in you so that I can one day show something that I can be proud of to my cats. So we'll try it. And if you guys are bad, we'll have to keep telling it over and over again until I'm satisfied. And we'll lock the doors, I swear to fucking God. We will not let a single one of you out of here until I get what I want from this story. It's a lot of pressure on you, but I think you can do it. Miami is like big in the porn industry. That's where all your porn comes from. All right, you failed the first. That's not a place to laugh. Oh, we got people are falling over the. All right, so far you guys have fucked everything. All right, you dropped your computer. You got it. All right. Old Miami of Ohio can't handle the porn industry. The porn industry was always kind of around the campus. Whether, you know, like, they were always kind of like recruit my friends. Like, I had a friend, Dave, well, we'll talk about Dave later. I had another friend who, like, he auditioned for Bang Bus. I saw the bus, the Bang Bus. And I hate to pull the curtain back, but it's a van. It's a bang van, but they couldn't call it Bang Van because that's a crime. I knew a girl who was in porn. A guy down the hall was in an episode of porn. But like the worst one that happened was this. My friend Dave. He lived 3 flights up, and he got picked up on campus. He was walking through campus. He got picked up by another van, right? Another porn van. He was driving through campus, and this van was for a site called Fuck Team 5, right? And the whole plot. We're doing better. The whole plot of Fuck Team 5 is it's a van full of women, and they drive around, and then they get you, and they fuck you. Right? That's the whole plot. It's a plot that only works with a van full of women. Right? If this was a van full of men, people would be hunting Fuck Team 5. Like FBI watch list, Fuck Team 5. There you are, all 5. Let's get up. So this van full of women pulls up. There's 3 women in the van. You'd think there'd be more. And they see my buddy Dave, and they're like, "Hey, Dave, get in here. We're gonna fuck it." You know? And Dave was like, "Oh, great. Things are looking up for Dave." He was just on his way to like Panera Bread. And I was going to sleep with these women. So he gets in the van, and they go to this hotel, and they have Dave fill out a bunch of paperwork, which is how all great life experiences begin. Paperwork. And what Dave doesn't realize is Fuck Team 5 has an ulterior motive, right? And every episode of Fuck Team 5, they have a story arc. And the story arc of this one is the women are going to pick up a guy who comes way too fast, right? And then the women are going to get very disappointed, and then they get mad, and just when hope is lost, a hero comes in and fucks the women better. That's the plot. But they don't tell Dave that. They're like, "Dave, you're great." Yeah. They literally saw my friend Dave. They're like, "This guy's going to come so fast." They're like, "Dave, get in the van, we're gonna have sex with you." And Dave was like, "Great." He got in the van, you know, forgetting everything we've all learned since the beginning of time. Don't get in vans, they're gonna have sex with you. He's like, "Yeah." I'm assuming it's the first van that's ever solicited Dave for sex. And he's just, "I'm in, yeah, sure, no questions, I'll sign whatever you want." I want to reiterate, strangers in vans never have your best interest at heart. Just know that. Right? So Dave goes back to the hotel. This whole horrible plot that I've laid out for you occurred, and then Dave was very embarrassed. He was very sad. It was a horrible thing. He didn't want anybody to see it. Right? I do know this is an album. But I think it's worth it. So Dave doesn't tell anybody that this happens, right? And then, you know, a couple months go by, and then I stumble upon this porn by mistake, right? Like, I think I'm just looking at like a regular porn, right? But then there he is, and it was like a weird thing, because it's weird to have your dick out and then be like, "Wait, is that Dave? What's Dave doing here?" Worst cameo. How about that guy's violin recital? So I had to know if it was Dave. So I emailed Dave. Well, I put my dick away, and then I emailed Dave. I was like, Dave, is this you? And Dave was super bummed out that I found this. And he should be. Because it's a pretty damning video, right? It's a 45-second trailer of a porn that you have to pay for, right? And it begins with Dave getting picked up in a van, right? And almost immediately, it's Dave coming way too fast. And then it's these women yelling at Dave, saying horrible, mean things to Dave. Like, I should spit in your face! You make me sick, Dave! They use his real name. You suck, Dave! They yell at him for like 30 seconds. Like, for so long that I begin to wonder, do they think I'm jacking off because I hate Dave? Why is this happening? And you can tell Dave's wondering the same thing. On his face, he's like, why is this happening to me? And then the hero walks in, and he starts having sex with all the women. And they don't show Dave anymore. But you can imagine he's just kind of in the back. Grabbing his things. I like to think he stopped by like the craft service table and like got a sandwich, and then a PA was like, no! Not you, Dave! Get out! Yep. So Dave was like, please, please, please don't share this with anyone. And I was like, sure thing. And then I had to email the 20 friends I already sent it to. Like, hey, don't tell Dave. And they're like, oh, we're telling Dave. And we told Dave, and we're making fun of Dave right now. And now Dave is 34 with a huge purple mohawk. So, I don't know. I don't know if they're related, but you don't grow one of those if your life is great. It's what animals do when they're threatened. Everything's fine! I'm fine. And that is why UIM is a bad school. Because I do not have a job, but I do have a 15-minute porn story. That's not like Harvard shit. Looking at is that your mom? Yeah. What you looking at? Oh shit! Oh, caught! No, it's okay. No, it's fine. It's only album recording. But I'm sure Twitter's got some on it too. I'm just surprised. Like, you should know better, huh? These are your kids. What are you teaching your kids? And you can just ignore life and surf the web. I don't know. I mean, you heard all my mom stuff. It just feels good to yell at a mom. I don't have any anger toward you. That's all me. I didn't want the album to be so like mom heavy, but like it started to become that way, and it's like I get it. Like my problems aren't really that. Like I had Juice, and then my other big complaint is that every time I see her, she makes me cut my hair. So I don't know. My life is fine. It's great. I have a great life. I shouldn't complain. I have great parents, but she does do that, and it does bother me. Like every time I visit her, I have to cut my hair, and it's like I don't know what you think you've been looking at, but I am a man. I'm a man. I have like an apartment and a cat, and I've had sex with people. Right? I'm a man. Right? I don't have to cut my hair for my mom. I get fired up about it. And this last Thanksgiving, I didn't see my mom for a year, so I had shoulder length hair, and I was just like, I'm not gonna cut my hair for my mom. No, what am I gonna do? I'm a man. I don't have to cut my hair for my mom. I'm just gonna go home like this. So I went home with shoulder length hair, and I walked in the door. My mom was standing right there, and she was just like, "Ow, David, where are you cutting your hair?" And I was like, "Not this year, Mom. I'm a grown man.
I have an apartment and a wife, and I've had sex with people. I don't have to cut my hair for you anymore. Yeah. My mom's like, well, fine, then we're taking you off the phone plan. And I was like, well, fine, then I'm going to go cut my hair. I'm going to cut my hair if you're going to stay on this phone plan, yeah? So, I went to this knockoff Sports Cuts in the middle of Connecticut, right? Sports Cuts already, you're looking at a pretty shitty haircut, right? This is a knockoff Sports Cuts. We're talking 2 Z's, right? Sports with a Z, cuts with a Z. All right, 1 Z, fine. We're having a little fun. Businesses can have fun. Throw a Z on the end. 2 Z's, who is in charge? Is your boss a dog? Who allowed this? Yeah. So I'm expecting the worst haircut of my life. You know, like I walk up to the door, I go in, and I go up to the receptionist. It's a fun business. They got a receptionist. And the receptionist is kind of she's kind of like a cute girl, you know. So I like stand up a little straight, straighten out. Yeah. Like I know I'm married, I have a wife, but there's always this voice in the back of your head, just like, hey, you should ruin your life. Run away with the Sports Cuts receptionist. Why don't you start a new life right now, right here, with her in Connecticut? So I approach her coffee, and I throw my arm out there, and I give her a, how's it going? And she's like, hey, are you David? And I'm like, yes. How'd you know? She's like, I just got off the phone with your mom. And her eyes were empty and black, and I knew it was true. She had been talking to my mother. She's like, please cut your hair short. That's what mother wants. And then she snapped her own neck and fell limp on the desk. I was messing around. She didn't kill herself. She just blew out a cloud of black flies and she was fine. But I think she was a little mad that she had to talk to my mom. I don't know how my mom talked to her, but like she gave me the worst haircut person there. Right? It's this girl, Mindy, right? And Mindy's like excited. She's still excited to be alive. Okay. So she like, great. She's gonna cut my hair. Right? So like I get in the chair and Mindy's there. She's like happy to, hey! She's there. And then behind Mindy is just a man. He's the manager of the store. And I look at him and I'm like, wow, what's that guy doing here? And he's like, hey, don't worry about me. I'm just going to be watching Mindy today, make sure everything goes smooth. Which is a nice way of saying, you're getting a shit haircut. Nobody good at their job has to be watched, so everything goes smooth, you know? So like, I'm expecting the worst. Sure enough, like the first thing Mindy does, she picks up a pair of scissors, and then she coughs and drops the scissors. And then the manager's like, all right, Mindy, well now these got to be washed off. So why don't you start on something simple? Why don't you just buzz up the back a little bit, and I'll be right back. And Mindy's like, okay. And so she picked up this buzzer, and she starts buzzing up the back. And like a couple seconds go by, and then Mindy sneezes, and I hear a sound like a rock getting sucked up into a lawnmower. And then I hear another sound, which is Mindy's voice, go, oh no! Which she could have kept to herself. She didn't have to say anything. But she said, oh no! So I had to be like, hey, is everything okay? And she's like, I don't know. She said that to me. I don't know. It's like, you have to know. We're not talking about space or God. It's like 5 inches from your face. Then like a couple seconds go by and the manager comes back and he's just like, Mindy, what happened? She's like, I don't know. He's like, oh. He did this, he put his weight on my shoulder, he put his whole arm, and he's like, oh. Well, I'll be honest with you, man, there's no fixing this. She's giving you like a reverse mohawk. He said it like it was a fun joke. Like, just a reverse mohawk, you know? Yeah, fun little look, you know, where you shave a line down the middle of your head, leave everything outside. Yeah, she gave me one of those. You know? She gave it like a scary clown, Mad Max look. Yeah. Well, I had one of those, a scary clown, Mad Max look. That's you now. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to look like a scary clown, Mad Max. I was like, all right, well, I'll tell you what. we'll have Mindy finish, and we'll use it as like a learning experience for Mindy. And if she can't do it, then we'll just buzz everything off. Yeah? And I was like, fine. You know? I was like, okay, yeah, she can finish, right? That's what I said. Yeah, all right. I gave him permission. I gave her consent to finish, right? And so Mindy picked up the scissors, and she says her plan. She's like, all right, I'm going to blend it. She's going to blend bald head with shoulder-length hair. I don't know how she's going to do it, but she's going to give her her best shot. This is a tough thing for like a good barber, but like Mindy, she's going to do a very skilled thing here. But unfortunately, Mindy, she's not doing her best work. She's got her manager watching, you know what I mean? She clearly likes this job. She still enjoys cutting hair. So like she's nervous, and she accidentally cuts both her index finger and her middle finger. And now she is bleeding on my face. And you'd think you'd stop cutting hair, but she did not. She kept cutting my hair, blood running down her hand, and tears started to come up in her eyes. And I realized, oh, this isn't a haircut anymore. I'm in danger. And the manager realized it too, because he starts talking to her like she's a bank robber. He's like, hey, why don't you just put the scissors down? You can still walk out of this, Mindy. Live a normal life. Finally, I had enough. I was like, hey, I think we're good. I think she did. I had no hair in the back, long hair over here, blood on my face. I'm like, spot on. Great. The craziest part of the story is that I got up and I paid for this haircut. And the receptionist was real weird about it too. And I didn't realize why until I saw my reflection in the car door. I had this fucked up haircut and blood on my face. And I realized, oh, I look like I just killed Mindy. So literally the receptionist is sitting there. She hears, hey, why don't we put the scissors down? And then I came around the back room with blood on my face, put a 20 on the counter. It's like, mother's not going to be happy. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing.